You're 4 times more likely to listen to negative thoughts than you are to listen to positive thoughts. But you're 10 times more likely to listen to it if you speak it out loud.
Okay, that's my song of the day, guys. Have an amazing day on purpose. I will see you tomorrow.
I don't remember a lot of the serious circumstances because of the brain damage.
We are about to head back to Flightboy Music's studio in Gwyn Oak, Baltimore, and we're gonna finish off the songs. I need my guitar, that's what I need.
It's confusing. You sure? Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
She was the girl you wanted to know. Her smile was the mask to cover her soul. She drew you.
I see people, you know, I see pain, I see happiness, I see struggle. A lot of the stories behind my songs is based on other people's experiences also.
Her messages of love, vulnerability, empowerment, and strength with a progressive pop rock sound that is engaging, inspiring, and appealing to a hugely diverse audience. Recent appearances have included the National Cherry Blossom Festival Parade in the Kennedy Center, and now fresh off a 22-date U.S. tour spanning from Washington, D.C. to Palm Springs, California. And now she is here with us performing. Please welcome
Yeah, give me a summer, baby. I can play the chords to ease your pain. Oh, oh, oh.
The isolation has really horrifically shaken up the world in many ways. People have lost their jobs, people have really struggled with isolation, relationships have fallen apart. There have been so many hardships, heartaches, and struggles that people have had to navigate through.
We'll paint an image that's wrong, 'cause they don't know you. You are the leader of your own song.
I miss people. I mean, I'm an ambivert, so I'm pretty comfortable being by myself. You know, live stream shows do not compare in the slightest. I miss the person-to-person connection. I miss being able to look at people's eyes. I miss being able to make people cry with my music, or make them laugh, or make them dance, or make them, or have them make me laugh and dance and cry. You know, that human-to-human connection is just, that's what music's all about. My privilege is that I was born with a condition that had me having my first brain surgery at the age of 4 months old. And when you've had 10 brain surgeries, or 24 surgeries in total, when you've come that close to death, it really puts into perspective that every day we wake up and we're alive, breathing, with a roof over our head, and people who love us in our world, you can't help but feel blessed and turn the isolation, turn the struggle into something positive. Grow through it, level up, step into your power.
Step into your power.
My first brain surgery was at the age of 4 months. How does one 5-year-old make sense of their life, their connection with their peers, their inner freak, their, the weirdo, and step into their magic? Recently, I've really started speaking out about my own health complications. I don't know if you know, I've had 10 brain surgeries.
No, 10?
Yes, sir. So, and again, I could spend a lot of my time going, why me? Life is so hard.
From every trauma I've had, I've been to hell and back. You can miss me with that.
I've always kind of stuck to this whole thing of being an artist, which I am and always will be. But combining, everybody can write about politics or self-love or empowerment or resilience. Not everybody has to have 10 brain surgery. Nobody knows what causes hydrocephalus. It's a condition that literally translates to water on the brain. But for the normal everyday human, water, or cerebral spinal fluid, CSF, goes into your head and flows back down into your spinal column. And for you, it enters in and it goes down your spinal column. But for me, I have a cyst, which is like a pillow of water in the middle of my brain, which blocks the exit way going down my spinal column. So as a result, I have a tube going from my brain to my peritoneal cavity, which looks like a straw, that drains the water out for me, which is brilliant, except for when I have massive hormonal changes, then it was likened to a banana milkshake for me. Lumps would form and would block the shunt, and as a result, pressure would build up in my head. I would get severe headaches, I would start vomiting, I would go unconscious, I die. So when that happens, it's an emergency situation, obviously, and I need to have surgery. It's funny. I shied away for a long time talking about my mental health and my physical health because as a child who's had brain surgery, it's really hard to relate to other young people. And it's really hard for young people to relate to you. I was going through old letters that my schoolmates had written to me when I was in hospital at the age of 9. And there's kids call me Frankenstein. And, because that's what kids are cruel. And, so for the longest, I think up until maybe a couple of years ago, I've only started recognizing I'm a f***ing badass. I'm a survivor. And it's not to say that I'm the creme de la creme of warriors or whatever. We all have battles that we go through. And we all have scars. It's not about comparing scars. It's not about comparing, what we've overcome. The reason why, my health, it's thankfully because it's the brain, I don't remember a lot of the serious circumstances because of the brain damage.
She was in hospital for 5 weeks from the age of 4 months till 5 months and a week. We had follow-up through the Child Development Centre here in New Zealand. What was going through my head was, I don't know if I'll be changing nappies for the rest of my life or whether she's going to be okay. I was focusing on helping her learn to roll over and learn to crawl.
Even still to this day, every now and then I'll get memories or really bad nightmares. One instance where pressure was building up in my head, my headaches were terrible. I remember banging my head against walls, hoping to God that I would die because I couldn't deal with the pain. My mum worked really hard, took me to every child psychologist and psychiatrist and, family youth advocate that she could take me to help me regrow my brain. And funnily enough, music and songwriting are one of the key tools to helping me redevelop, regrow, and stimulate my brain in healthy ways that helped rebuild my brain cognition.
From the age of 2, she was singing. Emma was not just mimicking other people's music, but making up her own unbelievable lyrics. You just think, where did that come from?
I said it once and I'll say it again. Music is the fifth element of wholeness. It's our way of not just self-healing, but it's that connection piece with other people so that we can all grow, thrive, and overcome together.
So watch me throwing out a melody.
The reason why I still busk, even though I'm a full-time performer, is that I love the connection that I get with people and being able to make them smile, especially because we're still wearing masks.
Yes.
Like, I'm just imagining everyone smiling. I don't know if they are or not, but
I can be a songbird, baby.
oh my God, they're precious.
I can be a songbird, baby. I can be a
Good afternoon, good almost afternoon, Rebecca. It's Emma G here. How are you? I'm wonderful, thank you. Yes, Jimena told me that you were reaching out. Super pumped. Yes. I mean, I check my emails regularly. However, I am currently on my way to the studio, so I have not checked anything. But no, but Jimena told me, she texted me yesterday saying you were going to be calling, and Joey and I are super pumped to come and perform. Yeah, absolutely. Yay, she says.
I have always been a spiritual person. There are so many things that had to have happened when I was born that would have had to have been in place at the perfect time for there not to be some kind of spiritual being. And I often tell people when they ask me where I'm from, I tell them I'm overcoming racism in one body. And that's because I grew up with a mother who was very spiritual. Her mother's family are Lutheran and Muslim. My father's family was Methodist and Jehovah's Witness. My mother spent her last year of high school in New Zealand and then went on to college where she met my Fijian father, had me, and I was born and raised in New Zealand as a result. But, you know, New Zealand's a very beautiful and powerful and liberal and the perfect place for me to grow up. However, in order for me to really grow as an artist, grow as a musician, grow as an impact maker, a difference maker, a change maker, I needed to go somewhere bigger. And my family's here.
You know, when we're born, a child doesn't know it's separate from its mother. And then as a young adult, they need to be differentiating themselves and heading off in a different direction. It's what they're designed to do, is to kick out at their parents at a certain age. That's what we're born to do.
My road trip to Indiana, broke down in New York State, ended up in Rockville, Maryland, and found DC, and that was pretty much when I decided DC's a yes.
I need to hold on to who I am.
DC's music scene is phenomenal. You know, we get so overshadowed by the political and corporate world that we don't really pay enough attention to the rich, depth of artistry here, whether it's drama or visual art or film or music or whatever it is. There are so many artistic human beings and creative human beings in DC. Musically, we have everything. There is an official music of a genre of DC, which is go-go, which is amazing.
Go-go is a popular music subgenre associated with funk that originated in the Washington, D.C. area in the mid-60s and the late 70s. A great number of bands contributed to the early evolution of the genre, but the Young Senators, Black Heat, and singer-guitarist Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers are credited with having developed most of the hallmark sound of the style. Go-go is a blend of funk, rhythm and blues, and old-school hip-hop. With a focus of lo-fi percussion instruments and funk-style jamming, it is primarily a dance hall music with an emphasis on live audience call and response.
I actually established a musicians collective with the aim of really showcasing and celebrating that, called the Capital Groove Collective. And we have artists from pop to rock to country to hip hop to funk to everything. Asian American ethnicity through to Black American ethnicity through to white American ethnicity through to little old Fijian Kiwi Persian girl here.
You make me believe I trust in you because you trust in me.
Kind of fast, but move on. And I'm hopeful each time I fall, but I'm the sum of each obstacle I've overcome. I've seen the heartache and pain danced to the beat of the rain. Took the stones you threw my way, I'm building castles again. I know the fear of unknown, the hurt of walking alone, and I'm the queen of my throne, I'm building castles again.
I give you my reasons.
In a previous life, before I moved to Washington, D.C., I was a youth worker, and I've always been a teacher from the age of 17. And so I miss working with youth. I miss being able to feed into and help empower the next generation. The saying is, every successful child is one caring adult away. I want to be that adult, knowing full well that parents, will do everything they can to support their children. However, I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, I did not want to listen to my parents. So we tend to get creativity educated out of ourselves, and we tend to live in a society that makes us doubt ourselves. I'm super big on celebrating everyone's superpowers. My superpowers are around seeing people, really seeing people in all of their beauty and all of their truth and all of their honesty. My mother is a counsellor, and so I've always grown up in the mental health realm. And when I was 19, a really horrific year happened where my ex-boyfriend committed suicide, my surrogate father died from alcohol abuse, my best friend / surrogate brother died from a diabetic complication, my dog died, and my boyfriend dumped me, and I was like, what do I do? Realizing actually the power of alchemy when it comes to songwriting. You can not just revel in your funk while you're writing your music, but you can actually cognitively shift your mental outlook. That was the point that I realized, okay, if I can prevent any other young person from going through what I'm going through right now, this is how I'm going to do it. My other superpowers include turning those superpowers or struggles into song. Songwriting is my love language. And I think my other superpower is I'm really big on just celebrating the out of people and helping, brainwashing you into believing in yourself. The relationship between our physical health, spiritual health, emotional health, so close. Honestly, when I'm working out, that's when I get my creative edge. I'm creating when I'm lifting, I'm creating when I'm running, I'm getting that clarity, that mental space for me to, make music from. If I don't allow myself, it's like meditation. I mean, I do meditate, but it's another form of meditation where your body is just like, okay, let's get ready to do this. How are we going to show up for the world today? Let's get fighting fit and do the damn thing. One of my pet peeves is texting. It drives me nuts. It's, I'm busy and all it does is interrupts my line of thought. My generation, I like the peak texting people, but I'm just like, dude, just call me. Just pick up the damn phone and call me. Okay? Okay, bye. The Song a Day challenge began because in the wake of the pandemic, I obviously had to seriously pivot my business as a music, as a musician, as a singer, songwriter, and performer, especially as a busker. And so I established this new part of my music career, empowerment through music and songwriting. I got so lost in work that working in my business, that I forgot to work on my business. I found that I was personally getting overwhelmed and stressed and swept away from the stress of the pandemic and of life in general. So I was like, screw it. I need to lead by example. So I decided I would write a song a day to show other young people, hey, it's possible. It may seem like a far-fetching goal to write your troubles, write your struggles into song, but here I am doing it 30 days in a row. Let's go. Let's see what I come up with. Some of it will be shit. Some of it will be okay. We'll see how we go. And I'm really happy. 30. I have a habit of starting all my live videos now drinking tea because tea makes me happy and I like being happy. Happy Tuesday, friends. Welcome to day number, I don't know what it is, of my Write a Song a Day challenge. I think I might be up to day 28 now, but I've still got 5 days left of the month, so that's okay, we're here for it. Today's song has been inspired by one of the members of my inner circle, Emma G Nation, who came up with the concept, I'm too much for you, or if I'm too much for someone else. Emma G Nation is an off branch of the Hug Mafia. The Hug Mafia are my fan group, my community, the people in the world that have found my music and want to, support it. The Emma G Nation is actually a name that was given to me by one of the Hug Mafia members, who now is obviously a member of Emma G Nation. And he liked the play on words because he said it sounds like imagination. Emma G Nation is my inner circle. They help me make decisions on songs that I record or logos that I create or artwork, stickers, all of the nitty-gritty behind the scenes stuff that the normal everyday human doesn't necessarily get to access or get to witness. That's what Emma G Nation is there to help me build and give their feedback on. So today's song is called, I think, Too Much, or If I'm Too Much. I'd love your ideas on what you think I should call this. My cat is hiding in her pillows. Okay. If I'm to live up to my potential, if I'm to be the best that I can, if I'm to soar to the highest mountain, I need to love who I am. If I'm to break every mental barrier, if I'm to prove all the limits wrong, if I'm to breathe into my power, I need to love who I am. Kill the prior me, step into who I'm meant to be. We are about to head back to Flightboy Music's studio in Gwynn Oak, Baltimore, and we're gonna finish off the songs. I need my guitar, that's what I need. Hold up the past like a badge of honor. Lean into the pain, the nightmares and horror. It's amazing. The studio, can either be a place of resistance or a place of magic. I have been blessed to work with many studios and producers and creators, and I have one of the most phenomenal humans in my world, Flightboy Music. Every time he was the first producer I worked with when I moved to DC, and it's just like going home.
Hoping that this was not the end.
We are recording an acoustic stripped back album of the top 12 songs. So, we've known each other for almost 5 years now.
5 years.
One of the things that I most love about working with you is that A, it feels like home whenever I'm here, but also B, you've got this your zone of genius and you do it so well. Where does your inspiration come from though? I had this this vague concept of how I wanted my song to sound like, and then you took that vague description that I gave you and you turned it into something that was beyond what I could have possibly hoped for. Where does that come from?
I just find things that feel good.
Oh.
So it's like I'll mess around something until it feels good. I remember a couple times we had to change the chord structure. It was still in the same key, but the chord structure was different because I felt like these chords feel better. And then from there, once it starts feeling good, then you just add in little bits and pieces at a time. And I don't fight the vibe.
I love going to the studio when it's with Flight. He's talented, he's a genius at his craft, and it's comfortable, it's real. It's, as a vocalist especially, you need to be in environments that help you to relax, because your body's, your voice is a muscle. And so if you're tense or feel uncomfortable, you're not going to produce a great sound. And Flight just has a way of being able to bring out the best in my performance every time. I know you want to mix this, but...
All right, you want to just go through the next two?
Yeah, I'll just lay down well, while you set that up, I'll lay down the piano for the next one.
All right.
And that way...
The change I want to say, if I'm to serve the whole world, if I'm to live with compassion and strength, I need you to love me first. If I'm to step into my higher self, if I'm to trust my inner God, if I'm to grow my spiritual health, I need you to love me first. Kill the prior me, fall in love with who I'm meant to be. Well, if I'm too much for you, you can walk away. I never want to have to prove to you, convince you to stay. I do this for me.
It's a weird chord to end the song on. I don't know why I chose that chord. We'll go with this one, shall we? Okay, that's my song of the day, guys. Have an amazing day on purpose. I will see you tomorrow. 5 more days. 5 more days. Okay, and that's that. One of my biggest things is that life will always throw you shit. It is always our job to turn the bullshit into fertilizer and use the fertilizer to plant your damn garden. So if you're born into crisis, if you're going through crisis, it is not just your right, it is your responsibility to turn that into something powerful, magical, musical if you like. I was born in crisis and I chose to turn my struggles into song.
And we rise from the ashes. to build a better new. We're gonna tear down these walls. The only way is through. I'ma lead it from the heart. If the darkness starts with me, I will do things differently. It's about the wolf I feed. I haven't broke down yet. I'll make this wolf my friend. I'm brave enough and ready to forgive myself. I leave my fears behind, taking back my life, my peace of mind, to build a better new. We're gonna tear down these walls. The only way is through. I'ma lead it from the heart. If the darkness starts with me, I will do things differently. It's about the wolf I feed. It's about the wolf I feed.
And I will.
Tough crowd.
I will next time too.